Welcome back to CBB2. Meanwhile, headlight version 2.0. Yeah. Not sure. Again. Might need another one in the middle. Not bad for running lights. Guess what's in these bags? Yes, thankfully not electrical equipment, so let's get these fitted, shall we? Initially, I tried that with that angle going outwards, and this time around I tried it the other way, just to see how it all kind of kinks and flows. I think I'll prefer the first way around. Oh well. Of course, the other side is double trouble, which involves one of these with two holes. Yes, because we've got to fit this puppy in there as well. Yeah, it goes up to the handlebars. I'm not going to be filming that because it's in a difficult location. It's very fiddly and there will be lots of swearing and cursing, I can promise you. Well, actually, it fitted on surprisingly easily, actually. I don't know if you can see it from the other angle. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so they're in place, and I kinked this the other way around, i.e. that flaring, the angle flaring out towards the forks, and that kind of looks like that. I don't know. I suppose that looks neater, doesn't it? Okay. Which is a bugger, because it means I've got to take that top one off again and flip it around. We have a complete brake system now. Anyway, this also turned up. Yes, one of our little fuse boxes. So I suppose I'm going to have to get on with the electrics. Before we get on to electrics, there's another thorn in my side. Yes, foot pegs. Surprisingly complex, especially on this bike. On this bike in particular, that requires this on the gear shift side of things, i.e. a forward shift of about 2 inches, 1.5 maybe. And this bolt goes through the frame all the way through the engine mount itself. So we can't kind of get rid of it or put anything else in there. And on the other side of things, it gets more contrived still. So on the bracket itself, you've got an upward and a rearward kind of motion, for want of a better word, and then the pedal itself has got another 2 inches forward. So just buying a set of these like we did on the Kawasaki and bolting them in and hoping for the best is not going to work, which is annoying. So as you can see, by the use of various props or propage, propping everything up, it's quite contrived as to how these footrests end up in the right position on this particular Honda. Thank you, Mr. Honda. Love a challenge, even when there isn't any real necessity for one. Yeah, so there it is, kind of in situ, which is contrived, to say the least. I think I already said that. And the most longest brake pedal in the world ever. So I don't like them. They're clunky, they're standard fit. They're actually in good nick. And what I'm thinking is I just refurbish all this stuff. I don't know. I like cool pegs. They make a difference. I mean, even the stock ones on the Triumph are pretty. Stock pedals in the 70s and 80s were horrible. I guess it was the era of the flares and baggy trousers. Well, I decided to dismantle them, which is more complicated than it looks. Well, actually, it looks kind of complicated, right? Which way springs go round and where and how and yeah. And interestingly, there's a little kind of scuff guard on the bottom of the peg. And there's no visible signs of it ever being scuffed. So nobody rode this very hard, did they? After 40 years of sitting on there, I thought this would be difficult to get out. But it's not. Yes, folks, 40 years. This bike is nearly as old as me, give or take a couple of decades. Getting this kind of bolt retainer thing down is a bit of a fiddle, but basically you put the foot peg on the side of the bench, get your screwdriver in place and give it a little tap with a hammer. You get the idea. So now we've got them all apart, do we simply refurbish or do we look at some kind of customization? Having got the ridiculously flared 1970s, well 80s actually, rubber bits off, which are actually in quite good condition, I'm wondering if we just go with this or we build some kind of a sleeve that goes over it that's pretty. You know, something anodized or whatever. Anyway, this doesn't fit. It's exactly the same diameter, actually. Yeah, something like that. Old torch. Not going to use that. But you get the idea. Appropriately labelled bags, just in case they're any different. I don't know. Anyway, all that junk will go in there too, but I think I need to clean it up first. Obviously, we've got two choices. 3. But in the interest of less is more, I'm thinking black for these. Maybe orange for the little underguard. If we even put the rubber doofers back on, I don't think we will. So we can either go the usual route of cleaning them up with a toothbrush and some engine degreasing foam and all that kind of stuff, or I can get one of those fancy parts washers like my mate Moto Mango has. Maybe I should try that. I've decided to make my own engine parts cleaner. And for the final rinse. Shh, don't tell the missus. Right, there they are, painted up, finally dry. I used that flatbed stuff, yes, this stuff, because I thought it'd be harder wearing. It also took about 4 days to dry for some reason. Probably because it's bloody cold. So I think what I'm going to do is rebuild them as is, without the nasty chunky rubber, put them back on there and take it from there. What? You want to see me do that? All right. Well, now they're all cleaned up and back together, suppose we should put them back on again. My only concern is when I bang that through, the whole engine's going to drop out. Let's see what happens. Tools that may be required in preparation. And if the motor does drop, I'm thinking we'll just have to get a jack under it and just push it up a little bit. I don't think it's going to fall out completely. Well, that went well. I don't know what all the fuss was about. Alrighty, they are back on. And now we just need to decide what we're going to do about it. We could slip these bad boys back on, easy enough, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't even bothered painting these. I was going to paint them orange, but I haven't bothered. Instead, I've ordered some aluminum overtubing. So when that arrives, we'll see what we want to do with it, and if it even fits and works. By the way, if you made it this far into the video, I appreciate you tuning in again and hanging in there for the update. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, of course, subscribe down below. Yes, this old chestnut. I've been exploring using this as some kind of fairing or headlight mount for the Honda A couple of reasons. I bought it ages ago. I think it was for the Augusta. I think it was for my first ever project. Anyway, it is actually off a Honda. As you can see, I've been mucking around with some paint experiments, which may come into a bike in the near future. But for this, obviously, we do it black and orange. So the main reason it occurred to me is because it's kind of angular. A bit like the tank. Oh, come on. Must have a better picture of the tank than that. So yeah, it's been kicking around for ages, and I thought it would be kind of suitable. Don't know how I'm going to mount it yet, but I'm going to cut it. Not sure how this is going to go. Think this is a little bit over the top for the job, but I haven't got anything else. Of course, we'll be requiring protective eyewear. Oh yes, gloves, because I think I'm going to be holding it while I'm cutting it. Okay, now we got what we need to play with. So there's a number of ways we can kind of fit this. We could kind of have it like that, and then like have an instrument binnacle. But I think that looks a bit, yeah. So the other way would be something like that. Follow the line of the forks and provide a location for some lights. These lights, even. Worth exploring. Right, let's tidy it up a bit, and that means, yes, a little not that desktop. It means this. Sander. Yes. I haven't used this for a while. In fact, I've only used it once, I think. Anyway, I bought it specifically for something. Can't remember what. Bad. Debating the Honda. Not sure it needs it. I know, an entire episode and he still hasn't looked at the electrics. I know some of you are desperately looking forward to that. Instead, we spent the whole episode messing around with foot pegs and some sort of bikini fairing. Didn't even finish that. So much to look forward to next time. So thanks as always for tuning in and watching the latest madness. If you haven't already, please subscribe down here somewhere. Lots more lunacy to come. And yeah, what else? Oh, give the video the thumbs up if you thought it was any good. You must do, right? Because you're still here. And encourage others to watch my lunacy.